Saturday morning, having coffee, and a lot of you guys are asking in the comments for me to go deeper into something that I said last week about buying boats because of what the pro team is doing versus looking at what the designer really intended when they're designing the boat. And if you see me doing weird stuff, I'm getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, so just bear with me. So, in my mind, there are three reasons that people usually buy boats that kind of just, they irk me. So the first one is buying a boat because they saw a really cool video clip or photo of a guy in the pro team. Look, the pro team is absolutely there to generate that content, to push the design and the product to the absolute limit, to figure out areas of future growth, and to inspire the community and generate buzz to generate sales. There's no question about that. So on some level, if you come to me and you say that you want to paddle a Piranha Ripper because you saw Bren shred in it, yeah, dude, Brent's crushing. He's doing his job, right? But on the other hand, you maybe haven't taken into account every other option that you have out there. There are so many boats that are in that category. How do we really know that you're going to have the most fun in that? So beyond that, though, there's also this unrealistic expectation. These guys are elite. They're way better than me. They are way better than the average paddler. And very often, they're way, way better than the paddler who is buying something based on media that's produced by the team. So, it's something that you should always take with a grain of salt, but you should let it inspire you. Absolutely. It is incredible what these guys are up to. The next genre of just kind of like pitfall to me that I see the most is brand loyalty. This is most notable with Jackson Kayak, so if you think I'm picking on Jackson, I'm not. I'm actually giving them a compliment. They have done an incredible job in bringing new blood into the sport, engaging them into the brand, showing people who they are, and making people want to support them. And I know that because that was me. I was an absolute hardcore Jackson fanboy for a long time. And now it's funny because I kind of pick on some of them and I go, look, absolutely. Do we have demos of Jacksons around? Am I happy to put you in one? Yeah. But let's also go and look at everything else and let's make an informed decision. And we see this across the board with every brand we stock. Is there anything wrong with it? If you're if you're happy with your purchase and it all works out, then no, there was nothing wrong with it. But eventually, just through ergonomics or your body weight or you buying the latest and greatest, even if it's not something that you need or want or ever really fully utilize, eventually you are going to get burnt. I promise you. And there's really no reason that if you have the option to go and demo stuff and listen to people who paddle everything, that you would close that door. So the third reason, this is the worst reason, but also I think the easiest trap to fall into, is being a newer paddler and just trying to paddle everything that your friends paddle and taking everything that they say at verbatim. It just makes a lot of sense on the one hand, but then if you think about it, the average person who is bringing beginners into the sport is typically intermediate, and even if they were an advanced paddler, most people, it's like high schools, right? I know a lot about the high school that I went to. I know nothing about the high school that you went to, and unless I'm an expert in building high schools, I don't really know a lot about a number of them. people in the industry, people like me who are here to help you find the right boat, we have, metaphorically toured all of those high schools. It's our job to be able to compare and contrast clearly to you what they're all about. So even if you're asking your friends, they can probably tell you a lot about, say, Wavesport Diesel 70, but they might not be able to tell you anything about a Dagger Nomad. And that Wavesport 70, you can't get it anymore. It was a river runner, not a creeker. It's really small by today's standards, roughly a third. I could go on. So if you show up at a shop looking for one, you're not going to get it and you're going to be disappointed. If you go online looking for one, you're going to get one used or ancient. Whereas, if you came open-minded to us and said, I paddled a Wavesport Diesel 70, and I really liked this, and this about it, I'll listen to you, I'll put you into a demo that's close, and we'll work towards finding the right boat for you. And ultimately, that's the boat that will stay with you the longest and save you money, which is sort of the fourth reason, price. I can't argue with the fact that everyone wants a deal. Not at all. But I think that it is a little funny to me when people complain about the price of a boat constantly. But, we never seem to mind lift tickets, mountain bikes, iPhones. So, Will and I have talked about this a lot, and the way that we look at it is, every time I run my van, I am counting down the mileage to an oil change. Every time you take your boat out, you are reducing its life, unless it's like a play boat on the Ottawa where you don't hit rocks, and those things last forever. But, for creeking or river running or whatever, you should just be a realist and realize that every time you take out every piece of gear, you're notching however many percent off of the life of that item. And this sport is ultimately pretty cheap once you have the gear and get that first setup, and you just kind of replacing as you have to go along. Is it a hit when you gotta buy a new boat or a new dry suit? Absolutely. But those together are the price of a mountain bike. So, food for thought. I hope you enjoyed it. But time to go break in that 9R2 on the bottom. So, have a good one.